Hello.
Yo.
Cool Ranch Corner, episode 57, baby. 57.
God dang.
Got anything interesting this week?
Well, I'm back on second shift, which means that my schedule's like back to what it used to be. Man, it when you get home at four or not four, at midnight, and then you go to bed at 4 in the morning, it's so cold the entire time, and I don't have to have my AC on anymore when I go to bed, and it's
Hmm.
it's.
Why don't you
I'm
just go to bed when you get home?
because I gotta eat and then upload the stuff for you and all that stuff. I have to do stuff before I go to bed. It doesn't take me 4 hours, but still, I'm gonna be awake anyways. Might as well just use all my time then, as opposed to doing it like before I wake up.
Fair enough. I went to bed at 11 last night for like the first time in a year.
The guys in like that's early or late?
Early. I usually go to bed at like 3 in the morning.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. I mean, sleeping that late is kind of nice, just because it's like when you
I
do
I
what?
I hate it, honestly. Like I wake up and I feel like the day's gone already.
I don't know. I mean, the one thing that's nice about waking up early is you don't have to worry about like traffic and stuff if you're gonna go somewhere. Like when I go and get groceries, I try and wake up at like 5 in the morning so that when I go around 6, it's nice and empty on the road. But like when I wake up at noon, it's like everybody's already going and doing stuff, and so like if you need to go and call somebody, they're already awake. So you're not bothering them, you're not waking them up.
Fair enough. My nose red. I had a nosebleed and I feel like whatever. Anyways, you have anything else?
I've been playing a lot of Black Ops 6, but we'll talk about that later.
We will talk about that later. Always ready. Did I say last week that the a gaffer from Oppenheimer was attached?
I think so.
Okay. I'm working on the shot list now. I spoke to my cinematographer about what lenses we're using. And so based off that information, I am now going through all like 76 scenes and taking all the angles and stuff. So it's a lot of work, but it's kind of fun because you're like picturing the movie in your head, you know? Oh, that's fun. Pollo Loco, I think either just passed or is about to pass 58,000 views at the time
I'm
of this
thinking
conversation.
probably 60K tomorrow.
I think so too. The road to 100K is getting we're getting there, man. Crazy. I'm adding the Creators Unite episodes to IMDb, so all of Cool Ranch Corner's already on there. Once I get all of Creators Unite up, I'm going to look into adding listening versions of both podcasts to Spotify and Apple Podcasts. I don't know how that's gonna work. What I'm thinking is maybe I'll just go through like YouTube, and because it's our channel, we can just download straight from YouTube, and I'll do that and then just convert them to MP4s and upload them. I looked, it's like $220 a year to have the podcasts on there. I think I don't know if it's per podcast or just to have the account. So figure that out soon. But I'm working on it. I know people have been asking, and I know that some people prefer to just like listen on Spotify and stuff. So
Yeah.
I promise it's
You know
being looked
what
into by the end of the year.
you know what happens when you listen to a podcast? You can't look at pictures of taillights when they're talking about.
Anyways, our main topic. I'm not taking the bait. Main topic uh this upcoming week is election week, man.
Yeah.
It's upon us. We're
Yeah.
obviously not going to get into like deep thoughts about the candidates and stuff, but it has got to be one of the most interesting election cycles like ever because of social media
Yeah.
specifically. I think social media has played such a big factor into this election that, you know, it's never going to be the same. I did see Joe Rogan had Trump and JD Vance on. Did not have Walls and Harris on. So that's, I don't know. Some people are saying that she didn't go on because obviously a lot of the interviews that she's been doing have made her look like a bad speaker. So
But well, so what I had heard, and I think Joe Rogan actually said this. He said that she wanted to do
Mhm.
an hour-long interview where he would fly out to her, and
Which
then
is crazy.
and
Yeah.
he's like, no, that's not what I do.
Yeah,
I,
first of all, he doesn't have a mobile podcast setup.
yeah,
Like he's never done that. And then the other thing is, he said that if he were to travel somewhere to do it, it would be different than he normally does the podcast because if you travel to somebody else's location, they're gonna have people in the room and like it's this huge thing. And he's like, it's that's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to have a fair conversation with each of the candidates, and I guess they didn't agree to that. There are what 3 days left till election day. I don't think she's
Jesus.
going on. I don't think she's doing it.
Yeah, and
It's
I
fair
don't
to
know,
say.
man. The thing is, I looked at the polls, and it's weird. So they're saying that it's 48-47 in Kamala Harris's favor. And I was like,
It depends
really?
on where you look too. Like if you
Well,
look at all of them, it's been fluctuating back and forth, basically like a coin flip. So
in all fairness, I did just like look up like election poll results on Google, and Google has had a history of like doing weird stuff with search results.
yeah.
So, which,
Well,
yeah,
I know depending on what website you look at, it's definitely biased. You know.
yes, yeah. I
So
don't know. I feel like it's really strange because like BBC was making an article on it, and they were saying that it was 48-47, and I was like, where did they get the data from? That's what I'm wondering.
yeah,
Um,
that's interesting. Well, I mean, have you been paying attention to like Poly Market? I don't know what it's at now.
I don't even know
I
what that
just
is.
it's interesting to see what people are betting. It's been in Trump's favor betting wise for a while, but it's actually fallen a little bit the last couple days. It was in like the
It's
high 60s, and now it's at 58.5 for Trump,
yeah, but
41.6 for Harris.
Polymarket is like you can just bet on events, right? So
Yeah, but I mean, I think it just goes to the popular vote. They think is going to Harris, which is interesting. This is real. This election really reminds me of the 2016 election, a lot more than it reminds me of the last one.
don't hold on. Okay, I just I want people to understand what happened when went into the comments of the Polymarket presidential election winner like bet thing. All I see is a comment that says, "Why was Trump simulating a blowjob on stage?" And someone replied and said, "Kamala impression."
Oh, what the hell? Dude, I was dying with laughter. I don't like either of these candidates. I want to be very clear about that. I really wish we had a like a better choice, you know. I
Yeah.
honestly after listening to JD Vance, I hope he runs because I think he's a much better
He
like
seemed like
Republican
a real
candidate.
genuine dude as well. Like he was on
Yeah.
Theo Vaughn's podcast and he was laughing at just some of the stuff that he said. I was like, yeah, hey, he's an actual person. That's good.
Well,
But
he got Joe Rogan got him to talk about like marijuana laws and psychedelics and stuff, so that was interesting.
hmm,
He got because he got Trump to talk about UFOs for like 2 seconds.
yeah, well, they talked about
So Trump
UFC
made
more than UFOs.
that was interesting.
Yeah.
But what was I about to say? I totally
Because
lost
you're
my train
talking
of
about
thought.
why JD Vance should run for president.
No, I that's all I had to say about that. Like I thought that he like did a really good job presenting himself on the podcast, and like that was the first time I'd heard him talk that much. So
Yeah.
interesting. I really do wish we could have got Harris and like Walls on there too. It would have been really interesting to see both sides unfiltered for a couple of hours. It's really frustrating that they didn't want to do that, but I don't know. It's such a weird situation, and they did it so close to the election day, so it's I don't know. We'll see.
Wow. So I random thing on the topic of elections. So you remember Epic Rap Battles of History?
Yeah, they did one.
Yeah,
I
so
saw that. Yeah.
they do one for every election. So they've done one since Obama versus Mitt Romney. They've done that every single election,
Was that
and
2008,
2012
2012?
because they did that one, and then they did Trump versus Hillary, then they did Trump versus Biden. Now they're doing Trump versus Kamala, right? I heard nothing about this one.
Who did Obama run against the first time?
Uh, Dang, I don't know.
2008 election. I don't even remember, but oh, it
John
was John
McCain.
McCain. That's right.
Holy crap, dude.
I forgot about that.
Dude,
That's
I
crazy.
was 7. Jesus.
Well, I mean, I remember
Actually, I was 6. I didn't turn
I
7
was
until
old
that
enough.
December.
I was old enough to remember the 2004 election, and that was uh George Bush versus John Kerry. That's right. I remember that.
Who was 2000? George Bush versus
I think it was Al Gore, right?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I remember I very like it's like one of those things where you're like I don't know where this memory came from, but it's there. I remember seeing them debate. George Bush and Al Gore. I remember that.
Well, because Al Gore was big on the global warming stuff, right?
Yeah, that was his huge thing because he had that documentary come out like An Inconvenient Truth,
Yeah.
remember? And that's where everybody's like, "Oh, the polar bears." They just kept showing polar bears swimming and there's like no ice for them to like stop at.
Dude, it's crazy how
Sad.
nobody talks about that anymore.
Yeah.
Like they've had much bigger things to
Yeah, but
worry
I
about.
mean, I'm not a betting man, but I gotta say, man, I would not feel comfortable betting on either candidate right now. I think it is, it's gonna be a really interesting night watching that map change colors.
Joe
It's
Rogan's gonna do the end of the world.
are
He does
they?
it.
Hmm.
He does. Well, he does it every election. He did
Oh,
one last time.
I remember what I was gonna talk about earlier, dude. The thing where Biden said that like the people voting for Trump are garbage, and
And then
then
he shows him as a garbage collector. Yeah.
that video in the family chat just laughing because like they were like up close talking to him and he's like talking about something like serious and all of a sudden he goes, "You like my garbage truck?" And then they zoom out and it's like the whole garbage truck and he's like, "This garbage truck is in," he's like what did he say? It's like it's in, god damn it, I can't remember.
It's so funny though, dude. And he showed up. Didn't he have like a high vis vest on and everything, dude? Like,
Yeah, he like dressed up like a garbage bin. Okay, I got it. This truck is in honor of Kamala and Biden.
what a crazy election dude. We have the
Dude,
former
it's a
president.
reality show.
The former
It's
president
literally like yeah.
went and worked at McDonald's, then was on Joe Rogan, then his vice president was on Joe Rogan, and then he went on. He went out and got a garbage truck and did he actually collect garbage or was he just showing up as a garbage
No,
man?
but dude, the fact that he got a garbage truck, like it was like so quick. It was like he said that and like 12 hours later he's driving a garbage truck around.
Dude,
with freaking,
he's on it so fast. That's the crazy
I
thing to
think
me.
his campaign team is like, I mean, they've been making some, both sides have been making some really interesting moves, but
What went wrong in 2020? Like, what did he do wrong in 2020 that just was it because of all the stuff that was going on in the world at the time that just they were like everyone was like I'm not voting for him, or did he do something different in his campaign?
I mean, dude, that's the thing is like he lost by like it was like 50,000 votes or something. Crazy small margin. That's why he's always said, "Oh, I didn't really lose, they rigged it." Because there was so many mail-in ballots because of COVID. So, who knows, man? I mean, I hate getting into that because I don't know enough. I don't know enough
Mhm.
about what happened. I just know that it was a really small margin that he lost
Well,
by.
I mean, did you see
So,
that somebody set a ballot box on fire?
yeah, in
Did
like
this,
Oregon or something.
I
Like
don't
Oregon or Washington.
I don't know where it was. I just know somebody set a ballot box on
Might
fire, and
happen in both.
it's
I think
like
it happened on multiple occasions.
yeah. Well, I wouldn't be
Well,
surprised.
dude, last night, Pennsylvania, they literally caught some fake votes from like dead people and stuff last night.
Well, that's been
It was
happening
all over the news.
across the whole like
I'm gonna look it up.
nation. But what I've seen, and I will say, as far as election fraud does go, dude, there's been pictures that I've been seeing on Twitter where people are like voting for Trump, and then the next picture is their freaking like passport from a different country. They're like, yeah, I found out you can just vote. They don't check.
Fraudulent voter registration forms in Pennsylvania traced back to Arizona. It says
Whoa.
Investigations into fraudulent voter registrations in Pennsylvania has ties to a company in Arizona. ABC 15 confirmed investigations are ongoing both here and in Pennsylvania over a Valley company accused of submitting irregular registration and mail-in ballot request forms. An organized effort to submit approximately 2,500 voter registration applications at or near the deadline for registering to vote. It says there's no evidence of anything indicating any sort of widespread voter fraud. This is an isolated incident. Um, Alarms were sounded when the Monroe County Board of Elections identified approximately 30 irregular forms and began investigating the situation. Request forms have been found to be fraudulent as they were not authorized by the persons. So people were using deceased people's names to send in ballots. But Pennsylvania, of all places, which is where he got shot. That's like,
Oh yeah.
one of the battleground states. Yeah, it's one of the swing states, I believe. So that is, God, man, I don't think that's the last we're gonna hear of that kind of stuff, man. I think we're gonna hear more in the coming days. I know early voting closes here tomorrow, so it's like tomorrow's the last day, or else you gotta wait till election day. And election day, they're gonna all over the news. It's gonna be like lines all over the place. It's gonna be crazy, man. I do agree. Some people are saying, why isn't election day a holiday so that everybody can just go vote? And it's like,
That
done
would
the same
actually
day.
that would get me to vote.
I mean, it's pretty easy to vote as it is. I think that giving everybody a day off is almost like, yeah, today's the day that I'm gonna go exercise my right to vote. Like it's
Yeah.
patriotic,
Like
but
like
I don't
the
know.
whole family can go and vote. Make it a thing. Make it an event. And you guys go and get lunch afterwards. And then
I know they're saying New Mexico is like it's a teeter state or whatever they call it, where it could go one way or the other. So
swing
really
state.
interesting. Not a swing state, because a swing state means that like it usually is a state that goes one way or the other. It's not like
Oh.
California's always blue, Texas is always red. You know what I mean? A swing state is one that like it's always up in the air. It's a coin flip every election. Um, but New Mexico, I think, has been blue since like '96, and so if it were to flip red, that would be a huge like deal. I know Arizona was blue last election and it's
Hmm.
red this one, so that one's been kind of flipping back and forth. I don't know, man. It's.
Give me
I
an
think
interesting night.
I'm gonna get some Buffalo Wild Wings and just watch it
So
unfold, man.
I work like most people on that day. I work
Tuesday.
that day.
I work
And
for a living.
but yeah, so I don't know. And then I because I work nights, right? It's gonna be interesting because I'll be at work just watching it happen, and I'm sure people are gonna be talking about it. Dude, random thing. You know what I did at work? Like I think it was the last day, which was Halloween. This is the last day of the week, not like last day of the job. Um, so whenever I don't have work, I like to just like code, right? And I
Mhm.
made a horse betting game.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah, so dude, people were like actually playing it. Like somebody like rage quit because they lost. Anyways, so yeah, that's what I'm gonna do on Tuesday. Is I'm gonna listen to Joe Rogan probably talk about the election and then look at the map and play this horse betting game that I made because I'm probably gonna have no work.
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know, man. I'm what I'm scared about is civil unrest. I think either way
Yeah,
there could be some rioting, and it's never a good look for our country when we have that kind of stuff going on. It's not a good look for any country. So I just hope whatever way it goes, people are peaceful about it. And there's so much arguing going on online. It's just like, come on, man. We're like, the thing that I hate about politics is how it divides us.
yeah. What was the Shia LaBeouf thing? He will not divide us. You
Oh
remember that?
yeah,
He will not divide us. And ah man,
that was crazy.
that's the thing.
I saw like a
2016.
45-minute documentary about that long time ago.
There's like a multi-part documentary on it. Yeah. Um, 2016 election was pretty bad as far as like the atmosphere that it kind of created. Like people were like at each other's throats, and it really
I mean,
feels like that
2020,
again.
We
2020
had to,
was weird though because it was like
I think Rona had a lot to do with the whole
yeah,
thing. Like it was just a
people
weird time.
people are also just not even necessarily talking about like the election itself. They were also like very like conspiracy theory like it was like nobody trusts each other, but it wasn't necessarily because of the election. It was just because of what was going on. But and
Yeah,
also
but I mean,
TikTok had just started to pick up and
yeah. Either way, this election is gonna be historical because we're either gonna have our first female president or we're gonna have our first president who wins a term, loses a term, and then wins the third term. Like that's
yeah.
so crazy to me. Like either way, it's crazy to me, man. These are our candidates. What the hell?
Yeah,
Like
and one of them
couldn't find anybody better.
got shot and then was almost shot again. Like
Dude, I heard three times. Three
I
times they
didn't
had a
hear.
freaking
I
assassination
heard a
attempt
third
recorded.
time, but nobody talked about the third time, and I didn't
Because
hear enough about it.
it was the first time that we saw on TV. The second time was at the golf course.
That was the guy who had the. He was like in a bush with the. They were saying it was an AK and it wasn't, or something like that.
And then the third one, I think like they stopped before like the person even got there. Like they like intercepted it or something. But
Mm.
I don't know. It's I heard JD Vance say that if they get elected, they hope that they can like investigate it and find out what they want to because it's been they have not been getting the information about it. Like they're keeping it very hush hush, which is very fishy, man. Imagine if they were to get elected and then they find out like this huge it's like the JFK thing again, like a huge conspiracy. Like
What's the
I don't
problem?
know.
So if they look into it, I think something's gonna happen.
I
I
mean, the
think
BlackRock stuff is so weird, man.
I think that's a coincidence, personally.
Oh yeah, because people just go do a BlackRock commercial and then try to assassinate the presidential candidate. That's crazy.
I mean, it's not nearly as crazy as
BlackRock runs the world.
wasn't is it Charles Manson who was like part of MK Ultra or something like that?
Supposedly, yeah.
Yeah, so like that's a much more like direct connection to me or to me. Well, yeah, in my opinion. Um, but I
I
think the
just
BlackRock ad, it's
BlackRock's
like
not
you
just gonna
can.
put anybody in their commercial, man.
Yeah, okay. Well,
There's a lot of vetting.
if I'm in a McDonald's ad and I'm skinny my whole life, does that mean that McDonald's makes you skinny?
That's a completely different argument, man.
Well, my point is, it's
You're
like, do you think
saying
that
a
BlackRock?
shady organization that runs like half the world's economy has this guy in their commercial, and then a couple years later, what was it, 5 years later or whatever, tries to assassinate like, maybe it's not anything to do with BlackRock, but what the hell was this guy up to then? Because he was in a BlackRock commercial, and then he tried to do that. That's weird.
Yeah. Well, what was
Either
even
way,
the
it's
context
weird.
of the ad? Because it could have been a thing where they're like, "Oh man, something investing, blah blah blah." Also, why does BlackRock do ads? What the like? What? Why are they doing ads?
I watched these videos where this guy goes through and he's like, let's see what companies really own this grocery store shelf, and then it'll be like salad dressing, and it'll be like, all right, so we have a picture of all the salad dressing at a Walmart. Here's this section of the shelf. Let's go through these brands, because you know how they always put like the same brands next to
Yeah.
each other or the same ones. And like by the end of it, there's like, all right, so it turns out only like 5% of the salad dressings on the shelf are actually owned by like independent businesses, and the rest are all owned by like the same two companies.
Yep.
And it's like, what?
Yep.
It's like BlackRock and like the one that owns like um what was it, Johnson and Johnson or some shit? I can't remember, man. I'm fuzzy on it, but it's crazy to watch those videos and realize like how controlled the like consumer market is by like big shell companies,
Well, as a kid, it was a huge bombshell to learn that like Frito-Lay owns like pretty much everything that I eat, right? Like freaking, I was eating Doritos. Oh yeah, Frito-Lay owns that.
Yeah.
Oh okay. Well,
We're not supposed to have monopolies, but then like I don't know, man. It is really shady.
well,
But
dude, like the Microsoft has tried to do monopolies so much. That's a really big one. Microsoft
I mean, you
really
remember
pushed for that.
like the Microsoft Activision acquisition? How long it
That
took
was
for them to
crazy.
like?
Yeah. Well, and that's why they're saying like it's kind of weird because Microsoft was like, "Oh, no, no, no. If we buy this company, we're not going to do any layoffs." And there's been layoffs, right? Companies have been
Hmm.
dissolved because or not companies, but like developers have been dissolved because Microsoft's like, "Well, we don't need you anymore. Arcane Austin, you guys suck. Bye." Right?
Yeah.
And so people were like, "Well, they said that they're not going to make Call of Duty exclusive to Xbox and PC, but they don't have a history of keeping to their
But
promise."
well, I don't think they would they would lose a lot of money by not letting it be on PlayStation. So I get that. That's like half the market.
You think so?
100%. Yeah, the Xbox has gotten their asses just beat to hell, bro, by
But
PlayStation.
but PC.
I think PC is probably like 40% of the market. I mean, we're not counting for like 10% of the gaming market being like Nintendo Switch. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think PC is probably like 40% of it. Then like 20% is Xbox, and then like whatever the math is. You know what I mean? I think PlayStation is literally like close to half. Gotta be.
I don't know, man.
But anyways, but putting it on Xbox and PC Game Pass is such a baller move. That
Yeah.
was a good move.
Well, because I was
I
doing
think
that.
that's why the numbers are so high.
I think it's $10 a month for
Yeah,
Game Pass, right?
I think
So
it's 15 for the PC one.
okay, so that's 120 bucks a year versus 180 bucks a year for PC Game Pass, right? And so I'm like, okay, well, if you just got it to play Black Ops 6 and you paid 120 bucks, right?
That wouldn't be worth it. But like if you're gonna play the
Well,
other games,
yeah, that's the thing. It's like you pay $70 for the game, but you also get other games. Like,
pretty good deal.
yeah, because I mean, even just playing two games, right? You've already put
Well,
yourself in the
the
profit zone.
the $15 one I'm talking about for PC, I believe that gets you Game Pass on both PC and Xbox, which is also pretty baller.
Yeah, but then you have to buy an Xbox.
No, I'm saying if you have both an Xbox and a PC, like you're getting a lot of bang for your buck,
Yeah,
like
but
we do. Theo will be in there playing something on the Xbox on Game Pass, and I can also play something on Game Pass on the PC at
yeah,
the same time.
no, I'm happy I have a PC. So
Yeah, no, I really have a hard time. Like, at the last time I played console was when mom and dad were here. We played Monopoly, and we all were just like, "Let's go eat dinner. This is taking forever." It was
yeah,
funny though, because like in the Monopoly game on Xbox, you can hit a button and they just like flip the board and all the pieces fly everywhere. So Theo every time would be like, "Can I flip it?" And we're like, "No, we got it. Like this game's taking forever. No."
wait. So do you? How does that work? Do you have to like pick up the pieces or what?
No, it just resets.
Oh,
Um. Anyways, onto our quick ad break. Guys, support us with Patreon. We got 2 new members. So shout out to Ryan T Gamer for joining at tier 2. He's been playing Call of Duty with us. Good guy. And Vanilla joined at tier 2. So welcome, Vanilla. Thank you for your support. You can also use G Fuel code Danny D for 20 to 30% off at gfuel.com and 10% off merch. It's a new month, so I'm sure we're gonna get some new flavor announcements. They usually do like 1 or 2 new flavors a month. It seems like they've been doing a lot of reskins, but it seems like the new flavors are picking up again. The BOGO just ended. That was another great BOGO. I'm sure we'll get one for like New Year's or something, but who knows? They've been changing a lot with the new CEO. And use code Danny D for 10% off Fit Butters. I'm rocking the Fit Butters shirt today. Look at that thick AF, baby.
I was
Thick
wondering what
AF.
that was.
Yeah. We have tried all except 7 flavors, and again, I think like you could basically like I could throw a dart and hit one that's
Wait,
great. Like,
wait,
there's
wait.
so many good ones.
For Fit Butters,
Yeah.
dude, they have 7 new flavors again.
I said I've tried all but 7 flavors.
Well, what are the 7 flavors?
Like all of the top ones except for no, all of the top ones except yeah. So I haven't tried Scotcheroo,
Ah,
caramel fudge cookie, like the tag along one, caramel apple, Charlie's famous carrot cake, cookie butter, salted caramel pretzel, and the chocolate caramel candy bar. I haven't tried those ones yet. Which I think chocolate caramel candy bar is supposed to be like either Snickers or something. I can't remember. But
Dang,
anyways,
that
um,
one's probably good.
there's a lot of good ones. I won some kind of content contest, so they're sending me 4 more tubs. I have like 6 tubs of all the backup flavors that I love, like Brookie and both Fruity Pebbles flavors, Monster Cookie, like the ones that I'm almost out of. I was like, yeah, give me those. And they're sending me like a winter hat too, so they're really cool to work with. Honestly, they've been. It's crazy how much free product they've been giving me. Um, so yeah, get some Fit Butters. If you're not sure what flavors to get, if you comment what like, hey, I'm looking at these flavors, which ones do you recommend? I will answer because I read the comments on these podcasts. And then also keep in mind that I think if you get 4 tubs, you get free shipping. So if, like buying 4 tubs is the most bang for your buck.
That sounds about right.
With
Yeah.
with code Danny D, so you get 10% off, and then you get free shipping. And I think that it ends up being about $40.
Yeah.
It's like $10 a tub or something.
Yeah, and if you don't know what flavor to get, when in doubt, get that. Well,
Banana maple French toast.
yeah, banana maple French toast. That's such a good flavor,
Yeah.
dude.
Anyways, guys, support us with those codes and with Patreon. Again, looking into getting the listening versions of the podcasts up by the end of the year. It's gonna be a lot of work, but I think it'll be worth it. And then the first round of G Fuel care packages for tier 5 and above shipped out last week. The 3 people who have been tier 5 for 4 months got their first like round of care packages. And then I am shipping out another one to somebody this month, out of this November. So, but also if you're a part of the Patreon, you can game with us for tier 2 and above. So I was playing Call of Duty this morning with a couple of people in the Patreon. We had a great time. I prestiged. We'll talk about Call of Duty here in a bit. But another thing for Patreon is you get the ability to ask questions. So on to our Patreon questions. Super Dude 01 asks, "What is your favorite Thanksgiving food?"
So as far as like,
Pie.
yeah, I was gonna say probably the pie, but if we're talking about like the actual dinner part,
Honestly,
rolls.
rolls are good, but I know you're right away going to be like, "Ew." Green bean casserole has really grown on me. I really like it because it's like a cream of mushroom.
You're
It's
getting
like a cream
old.
of mushroom, green beans, and those like crunchy onion flakes on them. I just like it. It's a really good flavor combination. Um, and we did a ham last year. I think we're gonna do a ham again this year. I am so sick of turkey. Unless like unless dad or our brother-in-law fries the turkey, I'm sick of turkey, man. It takes forever to cook,
That's
and then
fair.
like I hate eating leftover turkey for like 2 weeks. It's the worst, man. Ham is so much like better tasting in my opinion.
Well, see, if
Like turkey's a bland meat.
I think I would like turkey better if I had it like shredded, like when you get like rotisserie chicken and it's like shredded, like when you pull it out, it's all cut up in little
Yeah,
pieces.
we
I think I'd
usually
like it
do
better.
that.
I always
when you get the
remember
fried turkey skin, that shit is so good, man.
I always remember getting like a slab of turkey.
Yeah, but I mean, mashed potatoes are hit or miss. Like it depends on who makes them, you know. And like I don't know, I've just never been crazy about mashed potatoes. Um, Honestly, the first thing that could go is cranberry sauce. Like I would not be like disappointed if cranberry sauce just disappeared. Like I mean, what do you put it on the rolls? Like people put that shit on the turkey because the turkey's got no damn flavor. That's the problem. If you get rid of the turkey, there's no use for cranberry sauce, man.
Definitely pie. Pie is probably like the best part of Thanksgiving.
It's
for me.
funny because Tommy actually asks if you could eat one pie flavor for the rest of your life, what would you pick? I think
Cherry.
I would pick apple.
Well,
So we were talking about sometimes you get bad apples. I actually had a slice of cherry pie recently, and there was a bad cherry in it, and it was really like overwhelming and made me not want to eat anymore.
well, how bad? How bad? How like bitter?
It was like super bitter. Yeah, like it just tasted like anytime you have like a bad piece of fruit, and you're just like, whoa, that was like something's wrong with that.
Because
I
apple
feel like
pie,
I really like Dutch apple pie, man. Dutch apple pie is
Dutch
so
apple
good.
pie is where they put like the stuff on
The
top, right?
crumble, yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, no, apple pie is really good. Uh, but I don't know. I
Lemon
mean,
meringue, but lemon meringue is also really sweet. I feel like I'd get tired of it.
yeah, I think lemon meringue's probably too much because yeah. Apple's very solid. I think apple's like a little too mellow though. Like I think it doesn't have as much flavor as cherry, and so cherry kind of wins out for me. I think cherry's a good
Yeah.
middle ground between, you know, sweet but not overpowering, you know? So
Yeah.
probably cherry.
Oh, let me see here.
Apple pie does hit the spot sometimes though.
I'm trying to find this list I just came up with because this next question was, what is my okay. So I got information here for you, Mr. Knight 777. Mr. Knight 777 asks, what G Fuel is your favorite? So I'm gonna answer first because I got him right here. So G Fuel recently asked me like, what are my top 5 flavors? I don't know what they're doing with that information, but I had to come up with my top 5. Number 1, watermelon limeade, because I
Wow.
am that flavor is just iconic for me. If you've seen Pollo Loco, you know why. Um, then I went number 2, gummy sharks. Number 3, raspberry iced tea, which I know Chris is probably like, eh. Fourth, blue bomber slushy, and 5, mango lemonade. So that's my top 5. I don't know what
So
his favorite is.
the reason why he's saying that about raspberry iced tea is because I literally had a video where I was talking about how raspberry iced tea is the way I put it was raspberry iced tea. That's how I put it because the iced tea flavor was not really that
The
prominent.
raspberry is stronger than the iced tea,
Yeah.
but I've drank that so much that I think it's like, I would say it's like 65% raspberry, 35% iced tea.
On
That's
that
what I would say.
on that note, the reason why I am so particular about that is because Nemesis tea is probably my favorite because
Dude,
it tastes just like a normal drink you'd have. Like it doesn't taste like an
if they
energy drink.
came out with a southern sweet tea flavor, oh my gosh, that would kill, man. That would sell like hotcakes. I'm telling you. J-Feel, southern sweet tea. Let's do it. Uh,
I love tea. Tea is so good.
tea is just so good. Yeah, dude. I got an Albuquerque hat. Um, Random side note. I'm gonna get my hair cut short because I've been getting a lot of auditions for military stuff, and then
Uh,
I'm also getting ready to do my military film. So next time you see me on the podcast, my hair is probably gonna be a lot shorter on the sides specifically. I'm definitely getting rid of the long hair in the back too. So
I think I'm gonna get a haircut when I go
I'm gonna get
visit
some
mom
new
and dad
headshots.
for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some new headshots in January probably. So looking forward to that. But anyways, found this like coffee shop that also has a bunch of shops like inside next to it, like 15 different like local shops. It was really cool, like a cool little hangout spot, uh close to downtown, not quite downtown but close to it. And I think it's called like ABQ Coffee. I had like they were like, oh, we're out of coffee, and I'm like, what do you mean you're out of coffee? Like I guess they were out of like normal drip coffee. And so she was like, can I make you an americano, because I'd already paid? And I'm like, yeah, sure. That shit, one of the best cups of coffee I've had in a long time, man. So, ABQ Coffee. If you're in Albuquerque, it's a great place to get coffee, and there's a little shop with a bunch of like local Albuquerque stuff.
Anytime
So
a
if you're looking for Albuquerque swag and some good coffee, that's a good place to go.
anytime a place runs out of an ingredient and they're like right next to a Walmart, I'm always just like, man, that sucks. Like, you can go and get that ingredient right now, but you're not allowed to. Anyways,
Tyler Moen has a question for each of us. For me, he says, "Do you do a lot of cooking or grilling? If so, is there anything specific you like to cook?" I personally don't do a lot of cooking right now. When we do get a house, we're talking about, or we're looking into whether we're gonna buy or rent. Actually, that's the new thing. Because I don't know if it's a good idea to buy a house right now. I'm really worried that we'll buy a house and then the market will pop and like our house will lose like a quarter of its value or something, which would make it a terrible investment. So it seems like from an investment standpoint, buying a house is not the greatest idea in a lot of markets, depending on where you live. So I don't know if we're gonna rent or buy a house next year, but we will be moving into a house. That's all I know. And so to tie back into the question, first purchase for me is gonna be like a nice grill or something, because I love grilling. I don't know what it is about grilling, but it makes everything taste better. Because I mean, like you cook a steak in a pan, and it's like it's just not the same as grilling, man. It has a different flavor to it, you know. And like I like grilling like bell peppers and all kinds of stuff too. So
I
you know,
I
drop
think
like $300 on a nice grill or something, or a smoker grill. You seen those where it's like a grill and a smoker?
the
That'd be
only
cool.
thing I prefer when it comes to grilling is hot dogs.
But yeah, I don't cook a lot. That was the
That's
question. I don't currently cook. We did a brand deal with Factor Meals, and so we've been getting Factor Meals for a while, and that saves so much time. Like it's literally like you just preheat the oven. I like the oven method. I don't like heating my food up in the microwave because it just makes the texture of the food weird.
yes.
So I do 375 in the oven, throw my Factor Meal in for 10 minutes, and boom, I've got like, and also they're keto meals, so it like works with my
So you're
diet.
saying
I don't really
the
have to think
oven
about it.
oven or like the toaster oven?
Oven.
Are you putting multiple meals in there at once or just one?
It's usually one for me, one for Bobby.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah. Um. But yeah, not a lot of cooking or grilling, but once we do get a grill, I'll probably be doing a lot of steak and like sausage and stuff like that on the grill because that's just good. And like grilled chicken is the best way to have chicken, like hands down. Besides fried, obviously. You know what I mean? Like I hate boiled chicken is so nasty. I remember growing up, like I would go to like a friend's house and they would like, I'd be like, they'd be like, "Do you want to stay for dinner?" And they're like, and I'm like, "What are you guys having?" And they're like, "Oh, I got a chicken like boiling right there. We're gonna pull that apart and like make sandwiches or something." I'm like, "Actually, I think I gotta go home." I don't want no boiled chicken. No offense.
Well, that's
It's
why I'm
such a
like
weird way to cook chicken.
boiled hot dogs is an interesting one because it's not necessarily bad. It's just kind of gross when we think about it.
Yeah, it's definitely like a mental thing. You're like, ugh. Like, grilled hot dogs are so good as long as they're not burnt to a crisp.
Yeah.
Chris Tyler asks if you could have one drink for the rest of your life besides water, what would it be?
I had to think pretty hard about this one because big fan of chalky milk, big fan of soda, right? But chocolate milk I think would eventually just be too sweet, and then soda is just not great for you. And so I'm like, okay, probably a tea of some kind. And I'm thinking, okay, well, sweet
Mine's
tea
G
though.
Fuel, obviously.
Hashtag sponsored. It's
I mean, if it wasn't G Fuel, it'd probably be coffee or tea, like you said.
but there's a specific kind of tea that I'm getting at. So sweet
I mean,
teas, sweet. Let me finish. They asked me this question. No one wants to hear about your freaking taillights, okay, dude? Like, um, so
just leave the call.
so sweet tea's decent, but something that's kind of slept on, okay, is Thai tea.
Oh, fuck off.
It's
Okay. Do you ever? My question was gonna be: do you ever drink tea for other benefits? Like they have like sleep tea. They have tea that has more caffeine in it, like
no,
black tea.
I literally just
No?
drink it for the flavor, bro. Because Thai tea is this bright orange, freaking, just like it's like a milk tea, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I,
I like green tea, but I get tired of it pretty quick.
green tea tastes like nothing, bro.
What?
Yeah, I think green tea tastes like nothing.
Okay, I disagree. I think green tea has a very distinct taste.
I don't taste anything.
Like
It's like green water. I mean, granted,
yeah, bad green tea. If that's what tastes
it
like.
probably depends on the place you go to. Yes, like for example, usually if I get green tea, it's from Starbucks, right?
Green tea is like coffee.
I've gotten green tea from like Dutch Bros before, but then they have to put all those freaking flavors in there until you can't even taste that it's green tea anymore. You're like, oh
Yeah,
yeah,
but-
this is a dragon's blood tea. It's like purple. You're like,
A rebel something. Everything
Yeah.
at freaking Dutch Bros is like a milkshake.
I freaking
I
love Dutch Bros, but yeah, it's a little much.
I get their cold brew with like cream in it, like half and half or whatever.
I would always get like the
They're sugar-free flavor shots.
I usually get like an aftershock green tea or black tea with no ice, or I'd get the dragon's blood. But we used to do like the Arnold Palmer's as well. That was a big one. And then you could also get it like blended, so it's like a slushy,
Lemonade with iced tea is such a goated combination, man.
which is crazy. Who figured that
Nemesis
out?
tea? Oh, I mean, they named it after that golfer because I guess he used to
Yeah.
like drink that all the time, so
Like
they
that
called it
guy.
Arnold Palmer.
That guy. You know what?
Growing up, I used to think when people are like, "Yeah, let me get an Arnold Palmer," I thought that was an alcoholic beverage.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know why. Um. Anyways, last question from our patrons. Pabu, parentheses Anthony, asks, since it's COD season right now, what's your favorite COD of all time and favorite map? So my favorite COD of all time is still Modern Warfare 2 from 2009. That was like peak Call of Duty for me. That like made me a diehard fan of the franchise. I was gonna say, I guess this is a good segue into the next question, so I'll wait till the end to talk about prestige stuff. But that's my favorite COD. My favorite COD map of all time. I think I got to pick one Treyarch map and one Infinity Ward map. My favorite Infinity Ward map is Crash. I always liked Crash.
Ooh.
How they decorated it for Christmas. And then my favorite Treyarch map, probably Nuketown. I really like Nuketown. And they always do something really cool with it for Christmas.
Favorite COD of all time? Strangely enough, now
Black
that
Ops 6.
now that I've been playing Black Ops 6, my answer has kind of shifted a little bit because I'm trying to think, okay, what do I like in a COD game? It's like it needs to have zombies, the multiplayer needs to be like kind of addicting, and then the campaign has to be very memorable, right? And Black Ops 2, like those are the kind of vibes that I'm getting from Black Ops 6. It's like it's you
I
get
was
the same
gonna
kind of vibe there, where you have all three
Yeah.
modes and it's just a lot of fun, and it's just hard to get off the game. Like, dude, I was telling you before we started, I'm halfway to Prestige 2. Grinded through like
Okay,
40
yeah, we'll
levels.
talk about that in a second, but pick your favorite COD and your favorite COD map, and you can do what I did.
I'm
and
gonna
pick
say
one
Black
favorite
Ops
and
2
one
for
favorite.
now.
Okay.
But map, I mean, I don't know. There was
Derelict. I'm just kidding.
yeah, haha. I don't know. I mean, probably. Can I pick a zombies map? It says
I
map.
don't.
Just says
Yeah,
map.
but he's talking about favorite COD of all time. I'm pretty sure. Come on, he took the time to ask the question. What's your favorite multiplayer map? Like I said, I think doing Treyarch and Infinity Ward is fair.
I mean, Infinity War. I haven't played a lot of Infinity War Call of Duties though. Like you grew up during the time when Modern Warfare, like the original Modern Warfare, was very popular.
Terminal. You like Terminal?
I think Terminal kind of
think-
sucks.
I think Terminal would make a cool zombies map.
They've probably already done that in Black Ops 3, but I think Terminal kind of sucks as a map. I'm not gonna lie.
It's very popular.
I know it's popular and it sucks. What's the map from COD 4 where it's not Showdown, is it?
Shipment?
No, Showdown. I think it's Showdown. Showdown COD 4. Is that what it's called? Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the one with the statues? And
Yes.
stuff?
Yeah. That's the map that
That's
I
an
like.
interesting one.
Yeah. Well,
Okay,
'cause-
so that's your favorite Infinity Ward pick.
Yeah, and
What's
then
your favorite Treyarch pick? I had
Probably-
to pick Nuketown.
probably-
It's in every one.
I feel like firing range is very memorable for me.
That was in Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 4, right?
I think
Am I tripping?
I think it was in Black Ops 2 or 3.
I know they've done it a couple times. I hope they
Fire-
bring some of those maps back for this one.
Well,
I
that's
feel
a-
like that's what they're gonna do.
So one of the things that I really wanted to say, and since the question's done, we've answered it.
Yeah. Okay. The next topic is Black Ops 6 the best COD in years?
Dude, this game has so much character to it. That's what I was trying to say before. Like, I think I tried to talk about how like I really enjoyed little details of Black Ops 6. The game has a lot of character. Like, it feels like it has personality, you know? Like, little things like, I was trying to explain one time, like, if you throw a grenade at a horde of zombies, there's like actual ragdolls. Like they fly up into the air and then they hit the ground, right? Little things like that. I'm like, dude, that's funny. Like it makes me want to use explosives now because it's so satisfying when you get a big horde of zombies and they just right. Um, and I mean even multiplayer, right? Like people people straight up just will do like the craziest things in that mode where it's like I saw some dude he dove off a staircase, did a 360, killed two dudes, landed on the ground, killed another dude, goes into a corner and is like leaning back, kills another guy, right? Not possible to like you can't do that in any other COD game. Like the fact that you
Right.
can do that in this game, it really makes you feel like, dude, I know what I'm doing in this game. Like that the skill gap has gotten much bigger, but that also means the skill ceiling is like way higher, right? So it feels like I'm actually like getting good at a game as opposed to just like, oh, I'm shooting dudes again. Like it
Yeah.
actually feels like I'm learning a skill,
I,
right?
I've seen people complaining about skill-based matchmaking, but I've been playing like toxic playlists. You know, I've been playing like hardcore face-off,
Yeah.
mosh pit for all the small maps to get challenges done. Because that's real. There's that one. What's the map called? It's like got the kitchens and stuff like that. It's really small with like a long hallway. It's best place to get headshots in the whole
Talking about
game.
Skyline?
No, no, it's a small face-off map. I forgot. It's called like Shot Town or something like that. Um, but
Lowtown?
I just no, I just got it starts with an S. I just got the boot camp calling card for completing those challenges, so it says like game over with like the dragon breathing fire. So I'm proud of that. That was annoying because I had to get 25 melee kills, and then I had to get like 10 kills after diving sideways or backwards, which I don't do a lot of diving. And if I do, it's forward.
Was
You
it
know,
Stakeout?
it might be, yeah.
Okay.
And then what's it called? The sliding sideways was a pain in the ass because I usually got killed before I could get the kill off, and it's like weird. It's a weird button combination on keyboard, but you know what I'm talking about? That calling card, the game over one.
Yeah.
I just got that.
I just got the it's like fresh feet. I
For
think is what it's
zombies.
called for zombies, yeah. And that's like the one that I hadn't done was getting 50, no, maybe it was 200 kills with a wall weapon. I was like, I never buy wall weapons. I never do that. So I ended up
I
getting
do
that
early
recently.
on.
I don't because it's a waste of money in my opinion. I'm very like old fashioned where it's like I gotta conserve my points even though it's like
I
I don't
mean,
get that
you
many
see
points
a
eventually.
freaking purple gun on the wall. I grab that shit.
Dude, I think they nerfed the wonder weapon drops from the mystery box.
That's crazy. But anyways, I seriously think this might be my favorite Call of Duty since like Black Ops 2, which is crazy to say.
I have seen a lot of hate recently though.
I haven't. The
I
people that are hating it, like they just hate Call of Duty. It's like, bro, like I think honestly, I thought Moist Critical had a good take. He basically said if you don't like the Call of Duty formula, it's not going to change your mind, but if you do like the formula, it's probably going to be your favorite one in a long time.
yeah.
Um I think Zombies is great. I definitely like Liberty Falls more than Terminus because I think Terminus has a lot of
Terminus is
it has
hard.
more, it's hard. It's got a lot of spots to get stuck. But it's still a fun map. Like I think the boat stuff is really cool. But Liberty Falls is like such a more casual friendly map. Like you can
Yeah.
really just like train, and I will be down to hop on maybe tomorrow or something and do a Liberty Falls run with you. But I'm like I just finished the mission in the campaign. I'm also doing it on veteran. I'm kind of doing a mission here and there. I did the one where you end the mission with like the dirt bike chase. After
Oh,
like the yeah, these are some really solid missions, and like the story's good.
dude, the
And
locations in that campaign are insane.
I like the hideout too, how they do it, and like you get to like listen to them banter and stuff,
Yeah.
and it actually has to do with the story. I think it's one of the better campaigns in a long time as well, probably since 2019.
Dude,
Um,
I saw some clip where somebody managed to get a gun and shoot at Woods while he's in his wheelchair. Bro stood up.
um, I really like Adler. I think he's such a badass.
Dude, he's a psychopath though.
I
Like,
know, but like, I thought it was so funny when you like rescue. Spoiler alert! You rescue his ass, and he's like, "Are you ready?" And he stops and he picks sunglasses up off a dead guy and
dude,
then puts them on and goes, "Now I am."
dude, that
And you're
reminds
like,
me,
"Fuck
like,
yeah!"
that's what I mean. Where it's like it's like Black Ops 2 because there's literally like I think it's like one of the first missions in Black Ops 2
Yeah,
where you're playing as Mason, Alex Mason,
yeah.
um, and I think you save Woods, and
I'm so like,
Hudson's like, all right, like it's time to go, right? And then he puts his sunglasses on and it plays the Black Ops 1 theme, and then he gets shot. It's like, dude, that's the same vibe from
yeah.
it. It's so cool, but
My like Black Ops history is so fuzzy. I'm like,
dude,
how is Woods in all of these games? But I guess it makes sense
so
timeline wise.
what I'm confused on, okay? This is the really weird one. So Black Ops 2 takes place next year, right? And Modern Warfare 2 or 3, I think actually takes place like
Yeah, those timelines are not associated.
they are. They are though, because Modern Warfare, Vanguard, and the Black Ops series are now like all within the same universe.
Well, Vanguard is Sledgehammer. It's not Infinity Ward.
Yes, but they're all like canon in each other's stories now. It's like a thing.
I could have sworn I just saw a video talking about the history, and it was like, so these are separate timelines, but then you got Vanguard, which is kind of in this weird spot. World War II's in a weird spot. It seems like World at War.
It says
like all the track ones from World at War to now are all like the same
so.
storyline.
According to the Rolling Stone, as of October 25th, the release
A
date.
freaking music magazine. Why are we taking their information from them? They don't. They're not about video games.
Says on top of that, the rebooted Modern Warfare 2019 series exists within the same universe as the Black Ops games. Okay. Either way, even if that's not
It doesn't
the
make
case,
sense.
even if that's not, what do you, dude? Just okay. So the even if that's the case, right?
I refuse.
How I don't know how they're going to take that futuristic stuff and make it work with Modern Warfare. I think they got kind of close with it. Modern Warfare 3 had the drone swarm, right? But
Yeah.
like I don't know how they're gonna make it so that, oh hey, the technology has progressed, so 2025 is
I mean,
like
do you think
this.
they're gonna make a Modern Warfare 4?
Oh, I hope not.
They're either doing that or they're gonna have to start a new. They Modern Warfare 2025. Like yeah, I think Sledgehammer's doing the next one, right?
Yeah, but I think it's another Black Ops game.
I
So
hate that we got stuck with just Modern Warfare and Black Ops, and like I mean,
yeah, man,
the one time the I mean Vanguard was ass. Let's like I like multiplayer, but the campaign was god awful. Zombies was like barely even zombies. What was it? Cold War. I don't blame them for that because they had to like basically shit out of the game last minute while they were making Black Ops 6, which is such a good one. So I really don't give them hate
although
for that.
Cold War was not a bad game.
I thought the campaign was pretty
The
solid.
campaign. See, the thing is, the campaign is the only reason that we care about Adler, right? Because like, if Black Ops 6 started and it was like we're gonna save this dude who betrayed the country, right? You're like, this guy like looks kind of cool, sounds kind of cool, but like other than that, I'm like, who is this guy, right? Cold War really made us get to know Adler, and so now in Black Ops 6, it's like, okay, like we're happy he's back, you know.
I would be down for Sledgehammer to do an Advanced Warfare 2. I really would.
So, unfortunately,
I don't think it's ever gonna happen.
I think if there's gonna be another sequel to a game, it's gonna be Ghosts 2.
Well, that was the next thing I was gonna say is that it really sucks that like they took a chance on Ghosts and again like people just rejected it and it's like you guys complain every year that it's the same fucking game and then when they try to give you something different and unique you shit all over it too. So I think the Call of Duty fan base is kind of like the bane of the freaking franchise's existence, like it's one of those like it's a catch-22. It's a lose-lose situation. They try something new, people shit on it. They give them the same thing they want, more refined. Like with Black Ops 6, people still shit on it. Like I think Black Ops 6 is one of the more popular ones, I know the player base is higher, but I wonder how much of that has to do with like the way it's on PC now and Game Pass. But I don't know. A lot of people are saying that they think that Black Ops 6 is saving the franchise, but we'll see if it has legs because I don't think any of the Call of Duty games have really had legs in the last couple of years. Like I can't remember a Call of Duty since what is it, 2019, that I still played like 5 or 6 months after it came out.
Yeah, well, even Modern Warfare 3, I would hop on there because I wanted to get like COD points, but then I was like, God, everything in this game just sucks. Now, people loved Modern Warfare 3, but like at a certain point,
I
I was like,
didn't.
I don't care about the multiplayer anymore, right? Because the multiplayer was just there was just too much. There, you had Nicki Minaj and like
The doors were annoying.
the Doors.
Yeah, like the doors, like people would like open them and close them, and like they hadn't really refined it yet. So like it would
Oh,
just be like boom, 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 back and forth, trying to kill somebody. It was
I,
really annoying.
I felt like there was just too much going on in Modern Warfare
That
3.
Piccadilly map or whatever it was called.
That's 2019.
I'm talking about 2019. That
Oh,
was the
okay.
first time they had the doors. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm really curious. I will say that my record for prestige number is like prestige 7 in like Call of Duty 4, which is literally the first one that had like prestige ability. And I think I'm going for master prestige. I think I at least want to hit master prestige level 60
I
in this
got
one.
I got to Master Prestige in Black Ops 3, but that was
That's
for
crazy.
zombies.
Oh, okay.
See
That
that
makes
that
sense.
that was when I was doing
I would have
nothing
never
but
done that. Yeah.
I was doing nothing but playing zombies for like a year. Cause that you gotta remember, in when I was playing Black Ops 3, I want to say maybe eighth grade or freshman year of high school.
I was between duty stations, so I was definitely not playing a lot. I
Yeah.
remember getting an Xbox and like getting Black Ops 3 and just being like, I don't like the movement and
I
I'm too busy to play
I
anyways.
will say that year was awesome because Black Ops 3 came out and then Fallout 4 came out.
I
And
remember playing
so,
Fallout 4 in a hotel in Seattle.
dude, oh my God. I love
When
Fallout
I
4.
remember that was probably the last midnight release I went to is Fallout 4.
The only one that I've ever been to is Destiny 2.
Did you see they did a midnight release for Black Ops 6? They brought it back.
Yeah, I did hear about that, but I was
People were
like,
excited. I think that was a good move, even if like it wasn't like a big thing. And
I
GameStop definitely needs it.
I think
Jesus, I don't even know how GameStop's still around, man.
I think the best move that they made is bringing the replacer back
Oh
because
yeah, that was great
dude,
marketing for
dude,
sure.
dude, did you see
He's all over the place.
they did a tie-in with Venom?
Yeah.
I was
By
like,
the
man,
way,
they're doing everything, bro.
I don't know if it's up yet, but the Sony reached out to my manager and they were like, "Hey, we want to use one of your quotes for one of our marketing videos." And I'm like, "Sure." So there's gonna be a Venom video. It's either up already or it's gonna be out soon, where it's like showing a bunch of content creator reactions. Guess what they used? There's a part of my review where I go, and I was like, the action in the third act was badass. That's what they used. Dude.
That's cool.
Oh, yeah, that is cool. They let me cuss in their ad. That's funny. But anyways, do you agree Black Ops 6 is the best COD in years?
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
Okay, cool. On to our next topic, which this will be a short one. So I've thought about doing a video for 70,000 views when Pollo Loco hits that goal, where Theo and I go and get, the two Lunchleys and we try Lunchly. But have you seen the videos of people finding mold in their cheese?
Yeah, dude. And the thing that's really unfortunate about it is I know why. So they made this big thing about, oh, we don't put any preservatives in our cheese. It's natural cheese,
Yeah.
right?
That means
Yeah.
the shelf life's not very long.
Yeah, and so I don't know.
If there's any like lapse in refrigeration, even if it's for like an hour
Yeah.
from like truck to truck while they're transporting it, you can get mold on cheese without preservatives.
Yeah.
But the scary thing is like, have you ever looked at the back of cheese, like shredded cheese?
No.
There's like straight up plastic in there and stuff, man. It's to keep it from molding. It's crazy what they put in there.
Yeah, the one thing I will say,
If you buy fresh cheese, that shit molds fast.
I will say so with with that whole lunchly thing. I forgot her. Is it Rosanna? Whatever. There's some like food YouTuber who
Yeah.
was talking about that, and then like everyone was like, oh, like she's making a big deal out of it, and then somehow she ended up finding some chat logs for Mr. Beast and his company, and was saying the FBI was going to get involved. And so I don't know, like this lunchly crap has spiraled so out of control, man.
Well, I think it's really wild that like anytime anything happens now, it's like immediately, oh, so and so suing so and so, and it's like you don't sue people for everything. You know what I mean? Suing somebody is only makes sense in certain situations. Like most of the time, like I think it says most of the time when people sue somebody, when somebody sues somebody, it's like over 50% of the time they lose. Like suing somebody is most of the time an uphill battle, because there's so much legal shit and loopholes and all that kinds of stuff. I think it is in like some countries like the UK and stuff. If you sue somebody, if you whoever loses has to pay for the other person's freaking legal fees. I think that's the way it should be here, because then we
Yeah.
have a lot less of, because a lot of people use like suing somebody as like a legal chess piece. You know, it's just to like stall something or bleed money out of someone. Um, like civil lawsuits and stuff like that are a mess, and I really think that like you would have a lot less fraudulent cases like that if somebody would have to pay for the other person's legal fees if they lost. You know, I think you would have a lot less people just, I'm suing you. Like I think that would happen less. But
Anyways, I think it is a good idea to try it. Are you gonna get just one
no, we'll get
time?
both.
So
I gotta try that pizza and see, and I like
you
my
bet.
cheese drippy, bruh.
I like my cheese drippy, bro. Take a look at the queso cheese. um, so I think the pizza is what I'm most curious about, just because
I heard it tastes just like a Lunchable, the pizza.
dude, that pizza is like a guilty pleasure of mine, because it's like the
It's so bad.
whatever
It's so bad for you.
whatever the crust is, like that like whatever it's made
Yeah,
of.
flatbread.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, that thing is so good. Like I think that like
When's the last time you had one? Because I know if I ate one right now, I'd probably be like, I do
it's
not like
it's
this.
been a minute, but I'm big on texture, right?
I'm excited about the nachos.
I think the texture of that like flatbread is like I approve. I like it. I definitely like it. I've never had it warm though. I've always had it like I shouldn't say warm. I've never had it hot. I would love to try the Lunchables pizza hot. Like put it in a oven or something like that for a minute or so.
I'd rather just, I mean, it's like what, $3 for a Lunchable or a Lunchly? Just drop a couple more bucks and get a real pizza from like Little Caesars.
I mean, yeah, but I am curious to see how those ingredients hold up if you like just warm it up. Also, what if you're 9, you're not gonna buy a pizza.
We're not 9 though. I'm talking about us as adults
Yes,
right
but
now.
who is gonna buy a Lunchable at the age of what, 28?
We're
Like
talking about it right now.
that's different, man. That.
So is buying a pizza. Whatever.
Well, this is a dumb argument. What you?
As a 28-year-old, you have the ability to both buy a Lunchable and buy a real ass pizza.
Yeah,
What is
but
what's hard to comprehend about
I'm
that?
talking about, dude. If you the target audience of Lunchly and Lunchables is little kids. Okay,
Obviously, yes.
so if you're a little kid and you want a pizza, get a Lunchable, right? You're not gonna go and buy a Little Caesars pizza. It's not an option.
Okay, but I don't see why we're talking about little kids, and like I was talking about me right now as a 28-year-old.
Yeah, and I was just
playing
saying I
Lunchly
was
for this
I was just
video.
saying that I was curious about what it's like when the Lunchables pizza is hot. That's it. That's all I said.
I'm pretty sure I did that when I was like 10. I put one in the microwave.
Was it good?
Probably not. I obviously don't remember whether it was good or not. I'm just saying I don't think there's like, I mean, you could say the same thing about asking your parents like, "Hey, can you just like put a slice of pizza in my lunchbox instead of that shit?" I'm pretty sure that that conversation's been had all over the place
Yeah,
by
but
parents and kids.
I
Like,
don't get what the point of saying that is though.
you were saying I'm curious about putting a Lunchable in the microwave, and I'm saying at that point I would just rather have a hot real pizza. I don't get what's so hard to get
I'm
about
not.
that statement.
I'm.
All of a sudden you're like, "Oh, a 9-year-old's not going to do that." Well,
I'm
I
not. I'm not
wasn't
saying.
talking about being 9.
I'm not saying that you have to have a choice. I'm just saying I'm curious what it's like. It doesn't mean that I would want that as opposed to a Little Caesars pizza. What
I'm saying before I put a Lunchable in the microwave, I'm buying a normal ass pizza. I wouldn't even bother.
dude,
That's all I was
it's the
saying.
same as being like, oh man, like, I wonder what this peanut butter and jelly sandwich would be like if I used sourdough instead of white bread. Like, doesn't mean that you
No,
have to
that's
make
not the
that choice.
same. You never had a PB&J with sourdough?
Dude, I'm talking about being curious what something tastes like. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying, oh, I want to have pizza. I should take a Lunchable and put it in the toaster oven for 5 minutes. I'm just saying I wanted to know what it was
Microwave,
like.
not toaster oven.
Let's just move on. He's getting me somewhere, man. I'm about to start yelling at people.
Yeah, talk about my taillights now, bitch.
No, no one wants to hear that.
Lunchable boy.
No, nobody wants to hear about your freaking taillights,
Lunchable
bro.
boy. There's gonna be some little kid in the comments. I put a Lunchable in the microwave and it burned me.
Anyways, you watched
Last
Bad
big
Boys.
topic, I watched all 4 Bad Boys movies, and the third and fourth one I legitimately had to fight to get through. The first half of the third one was really fun, and then it just went downhill. And then the fourth one, the first half was really hard to get through, and then the last act was actually decent. But I do not understand why 3 and 4 are as popular as they are. They've got some like tie-ins to the first 2 that are fun, but other than that, it literally might as well be different universes.
Wow.
Like Michael Bay's Bad Boys, like Bad Boys 1 feels like a classic early 2000s, like late 90s movie. It hasn't like aged super well, but it is still a fun movie. Bad Boys 2, in my opinion, is actually a good movie. It's ridiculous, and like the situations and stuff are obviously set up for like the banter and ridiculousness of the situation. But I think Bad Boys 2 is a movie that if I had to choose a Bad Boys movie to watch, I'd watch 2 again right now. 3 and 4, I was like, it almost feels wrong to like have made these. Like without Michael Bay, it's just not the same. Like the humor that Michael Bay has, for some reason, just works so much better than it does when they tried to do it in 3 and 4. Plus, dude, there's 2 directors, right? 3 and 4 have like this directing duo who made them. Those guys, like their houses must be just baked with neon. Like you walk into their house and it's just neon lights you can't see because it's so goddamn bright. There's so many neon lights in the 3rd and 4th Bad Boys movies, to the point where like there's a huge chase scene in Bad Boys 3, and I was like, I should not be able to see set decoration. You can see the neon lights on the streets and stuff like that. Like, so my brain already can go that, like, just watching the movie, that was purposely put there for the movie. And I don't like when I get taken out of the experience because, I can see practical lighting, it's not practical lighting. It is like practical lighting usually means like, or I guess motivated lighting is the proper term. Like when you watch a movie and like 2 characters have a conversation in the behind a car, and they're like covered in red lighting because of the tail lights. You know what I mean? We'll talk about tail lights now. That's motivated lighting. When somebody's driving down the street on a motorcycle and there's a freaking neon like panel light on every other fucking like, it's annoying, man. There's too much neon, okay? Too much goddamn neon.
Dude, I feel like taillight is like my MK Ultra sleeper agent like trigger word.
No, the tail lights.
Oh my god.
What color were the tail lights? But yeah. Anyways, Bad Boys 3 and 4 probably will never watch again. Although I will say it was really cool when you're not gonna know what I'm talking about, Chris, but there's a scene where a character from Bad Boys 2 has like his little like moment in Bad Boys 4, and he gets to like shoot a bunch of people. That was cool. Reggie's moment in Bad Boys 4 is probably the best scene in the whole movie. Anyways, to end off the episode, as we always do, our recommendation of the week. You want to go first, Chris?
Yeah, so I'm gonna recommend a YouTube channel called Nakey Jakey. He's actually like pretty popular. He's got 2 million subscribers, right? Does a lot of like video game, I guess you call them like video essays, right? Um,
Okay.
but his style is very like goofy. Like a lot of his videos, he's like sitting on a yoga ball in front of a green screen, just talking about stuff. But I think his humor is very funny. Like it's just a like he's got a very good sense of humor, and I mean like he does make very good points. Like he's really changed my perspective on what makes a video game good, right? And recently he did a video about why Microsoft sucks, and it's called Microsoft sucks at everything, and it really just gave me a lot of
It was
background
eye
on
opening.
yeah, because Microsoft like never makes products that are like good anymore. Like the Xbox has fallen so far.
Seriously, it's like
Like
not even a race anymore.
yeah, and like I mean their marketing was not great. And then I mean, dude, do you remember when they were like why did they do this? Windows 8, they made it because or they made it that way because they thought that everything was going to be on a tablet. So people who were on their computer, on their desktop or their laptop, right? They had to use this update that was meant for essentially tablets. That's why Windows 8 sucked. I was like, "Oh my God.
Yeah.
This like it's starting to make sense now. Like they just they make these missteps and it's like it's not just like a ooh I tripped. It's like
Windows
ooh
11.
I
I
just
mean,
Windows 11 is actually not that bad, but
it's not, but it totally ruined. Like I lost so many files,
yeah,
man. It's crazy.
you had well I think that's more of just when you upgraded, it something happened. But I don't you
Yeah,
upgraded
I don't
way
want to get
before I
into it.
did, right?
I didn't mean to upgrade. It was an accident.
Yeah. Well, anyways, this guy makes really good videos. Like I said, his name is Nakey Jakey. Lot of video game stuff, and also, I mean, like I said, he has a video at Microsoft. He does talk about more than just the Xbox and that. But very good stuff.
Um, I forgot to mention. So I'm going back through the IMDb top 250 again because I started watching like all the movies. I'm like somewhere around like 20 movies in right now. I finally watched Schindler's List for the first time, and that was one
Whoa,
of the most depressing films I've ever seen, but it was very
it's
good.
so
I gave
good.
it 5 stars, not only because of the story, but it's just it kind of blows my mind. Like it had this it because it's in black and white, like it's shot so well that it holds up today, but because it's black and white, it almost feels like an old-timey movie at the same time, which is just like such a cool thing. But damn, man,
Dude,
what a heavy film.
that's one of those
That's
movies
not my
where
recommendation, but
well, I was gonna say that's one of those movies where it's like if you watch something that's in black and white and when you go and think back to it you don't remember that it's in black and white, I think that says a lot because I remember that movie having color.
it does have color
No,
here and there.
I mean like completely in color. Like I forgot that it's
No.
predominantly black and
Well,
white.
what's crazy is while he was filming that, he was in post production, like back and forth with the editing bay for Jurassic Park. So while he's making one of the biggest blockbusters of all time, like adventure family badass movie, he's also making like one of the most depressing, eye-opening, like historical dramas of all time. Like 90s Spielberg, like Spielberg before 2010 is just a different breed, man. Like probably even before that. I don't know. Catch Me If You Can is probably like I liked War of the Worlds, but the third act, I think just story-wise in general, like War of the Worlds has a problem in its third act. It's almost like Signs where it's like, oh, it's the water, and so with War of the Worlds, it's like, oh, the bacteria got them. Also, the water, the bacteria in the water killed them.
Catch Me If You Can
But
is very good as well.
that's a really good one, and I think Catch Me If You Can is probably his last like 10 out of 10 movie. Trying to think. I mean, that's debatable. I haven't seen like a bunch of his newer stuff because it's a lot of really like slow, talky drama stuff. Like I haven't seen Bridge of Spies yet, but I don't know. He's made so many movies with Tom Hanks. Holy shit. Um. Anyways, my recommendation. Uh, my wife and I have been wanting to see Saturday Night, which is like about how they made the first episode of Saturday Night Live and how they wanted to like cancel the show before it even aired.
Oh wow.
Because it was such a progressive idea, you know, like the jokes and stuff that they wanted to do was like really controversial. Um, and so we were like, we want to see that, and we want to see We Live in Time, and we went to go get tickets for Saturday night, and they pulled that shit from theaters. I guess it's just not doing well, so it'll
Whoa.
probably end up going on digital sooner than I thought. So looking forward to watching that on digital, I guess, because I can't see it in theaters anymore. But anyways, we were like, okay, I guess we'll go see We Live in Time. And Chris, We Live in Time is an A24 romance drama where the main characters are played by Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh. And I think it might be contender for saddest movie of the year for me. It
I
was
heard they had
so
really good
heartbreaking.
chemistry.
They were so good. I gave it 4.5 stars. The only reason I didn't give it 5 stars is because story wise, we've seen it in one shape or another before. But I thought it was executed masterfully. Bring some goddamn tissues, because I think, like I said, saddest movie of the year. I think it the whole like last, like I would say the last half of the movie had me tearing up. There's some Andrew Garfield plays like this more sensitive, emotional guy, whereas Florence Pugh is like this motivated, competitive girl who like she's a chef, and so she wants to like compete in like some chef competition thing. But then there's other things going on with the relationship, and it legitimately by the end of the movie had me like you know, like the whole time, man. It was so good though, Chris. So good. I highly recommend that movie. It's still in theaters. The score was amazing. Great soundtrack. Like it didn't feel like because we watched It Ends With Us, which is Blake Lively's movie. And the more I found out about the behind the scenes of that film, the more I just felt like I didn't like it, like for what it was. But it was like okay. It's kind of lifetimey feeling. I think this movie kicks its ass, and unfortunately, it's not doing as well at the box office, anywhere near as well. It Ends With Us is like one of the top 10 box office performances of the year, some shit. This is probably one of the biggest bombs, but like, it's A24, man. A24, like I feel like A24 is probably one of the studios that you can bet most on that you're gonna see something unique or at least well executed. So, um, yeah, We Live in Time was great, man. So sad though. I'm not even joking, man. Bring some fucking tissues. So good though. Highly recommend it. What might even crack my top 10 of the year. We'll see. I would definitely watch it again. And then go watch Pollo Loco, man. If for some I don't know if you have not seen it yet and you're listening to this, what the hell, bro? Go watch Pollo Loco. And if you have seen it, go watch it again. Because we're trying to get it to 100K. And like I said, when we get to 60K, Theo and I are sneaking out for some Peter Piper pizza. And when we hit 70K, I think we're gonna sneak out and get some lunch. So let's get it there. 100K by the end of the year is the goal, and right now we are on track to hit that. So thank you for the support on Pollo Loco, and yeah, I guess we'll see you next week. Might be prestiging again, but
Dude, I'm gonna be Prestige 3 by then, like minimum. I'm not kidding, bro. I'm almost at Prestige 2, bro. I'm just
I'll
saying.
fucking put a Lunchable in a microwave. Later, guys.
Okay, go look at taillights. Jesus Christ.
I will.